Well, that was an exciting mission. We should probably check out the status of our base. Oh, by the way, we picked up a dog. Did I mention that? I'm losing track of the timelines, but we picked up an adorable little dog. It's something you can only do once.
Here's the dog you brought back.
Basically, you see a little dog around where Kaz is located, and you pick him up,
He'll get bigger.
and you get this little cutscene after a while.
Like this.
It's cute.
You know, I can look after him.
Probably shouldn't let him lick all
Still
that
a
blood,
pup,
but
so
you
he
know.
doesn't listen. I have a feeling
Yeah, he's an
someday
excitable
he'll be
guy.
useful. I suspect you discovered a real diamond in the rough. The little polish. I say we got a true diamond dog on our hands.
Oh, David Bowie reference! Look at my shoulder. Normally you'd be looking at the Diamond Dogs patch, but you know. Sweet.
Right.
It's the Lion King for some reason.
Oslet raising hounds. Fine. Come on, Dee Dee.
So, Dee is one of the best parts of the game. He's just a little guy. Oh yeah, here's the Phantom Cigar, something that I'll never be using because it passes time more quickly. I don't really get the purpose of it. It's not like Deadly Premonition where you need to be at certain places at certain times. You know? It just kind of makes the time of day progress more quickly than it normally would. So here's our base again. It looks a little larger than last time.
Welcome home.
That's a mod, again. Wait, I'm getting a weird sense of deja vu. Something about liquid? Nah. Let's just get a shower. That's clearly a wolf? Well, there's some talk about that. There's some talk about that. Let's walk around our base for a little bit here. Let's put that down. Let's take a peek at what we've got. So again, we've got our men. And now this is the completed base because it's a new Game Plus file. But as you progress through the story and get more dudes and more resources, you can grow your base larger. It always takes this form. And everything is so spaced out because of how the Fox engine handles level of detail and streaming in geometry. It needs to be that long. It's kind of unfortunate. It would have been really cool to be able to actually customize your base, like the layout. There was actually a mobile phone companion app for Ground Zeroes that let you customize Mother Base. So people naturally assumed that would... It's very well drawn. It feels a little tasteless. It is really well drawn, though. Let's just keep that for later. We got some uses for that. So anyway, the mobile app let you customize Mother Base. So naturally, people assumed that would be something you'd be able to do in the final game. No, no, you can't. It always becomes this weird, awkward spider-like structure. You can't really do much. Nice. We're also just gonna take that for later. You can't really do much to customize it. Even mods haven't really been able to do much. Now the mod community for this game is the modding community is kind of awesome. Genuinely, this was the first game that came out on PC at the same time it came out on console for the Metal Gear series. And it's been almost 10 years. So a lot of work has been put into understanding the Fox engine, and boy, it's janky. The people who developed the Fox engine and the people who
Send me out on my next mission, boss.
Sure. Let's check it out at Diamond. The people who have put a lot of work into the mods, people who know about the Fox engine, they'll tell you it's a goddamn weird beast. And they've recently been able to reverse engineer things like a co-op mode and the amount of soldiers, because there's a hard limit on how many NPC characters can be there at one time. But a lot of the weird level of detail and streaming stuff in, you can't do a whole lot about, which is unfortunate. Spike grabbing an anime girl poster, grunting and saying we've got some uses for that later without context. I think the context is pretty obvious. I don't know what else that could possibly mean. I could spell it out, but I don't think you need to know what I'm going to be doing with my naked snake in that cardboard box a little later. Anyway, yeah, the base is pretty cool. It's genuinely neat that you can walk around it, and it's a good marker of progress. But, you know, we're not going to spend too much time here now. We're actually going to do a bit of an intermission to go back out into the field to check out something that we haven't looked at yet, which is the true open world. Because even though the missions have been small little areas with zones that you can enter and exit, there is an open world that you can explore. So we're going to do that and listen to some of the tapes and just kind of explore a little. A lot of people will listen to the tapes in the ACC or here on the base. No, we'll just chat. We'll just chat. About this game. Oh yeah, those boats out there, that's also part of a mod. Mother Base is going to be a little more populated with stuff as we progress. I've turned off most of the options, but I think I left the boat on. You can have helicopters flying around and all sorts of stuff. Again, I cannot stress enough, the modding community for this game is awesome, and has made this game, it's given it a real second life to me, you know? Like, it still has the problems it has, and I'm never going to consider the work of the modders to be, you know, I'm not going to credit the game for that. But I will say that it does make things a lot better. So, we've got some prisoner extractions we could do. We're not necessarily going to do that. We're just going to take a little peek around. Let's see. We'll get this off of us, but it's kind of, this game is kind of two games, really. It's unmodded Phantom Pain is like a 5 out of 10, and then modded Phantom Pain is like the best toy box that you've ever played with, you know? All sorts of action figures in there. Most importantly, MGS2 Snake. And man, what an action figure he is. There's another example of the mod settings for Infinite Heaven is you just skip the helicopter rides. I'm going to keep them intact for the missions, but for going into the open world, yeah, you can just turn that off. So the open world is pretty big for Afghanistan. There's a lot of stuff here, but again, it's like points of interest. And then a whole bunch of roads. So let's listen to some of these tapes. Let's get some of the lore here. What happened in the Caribbean 9 years ago?
Miller told me about what happened in the Caribbean 9 years ago.
Yeah, what happened?
You do remember Miller?
Yeah.
You'd formed a private army.
He's that angry guy.
An army with no allegiance to a nation. I remember, but I see. You're not sure what's fact and what's a...
Snake's having a bit of an issue with his identity, huh?
Still all a mess, huh? All I can do is tell you the facts as they were told to me. I've gone easy on you up until now, but this is where the hard stuff begins.
Well, I do love hard stuff.
1974, the year before you entered your coma.
Yeah, Peace
You were in
Walker.
Colombia, operating with a small...
We remember that. That game rules.
Basically mercenaries. Miller was among them. Miller was trying to find a way to turn his and your talents into a line of work. He was looking to start a business where you would fight on behalf of others around the world.
Yep, just to become a bunch of dirtbags, basically.
But the reality was, at that time, you didn't have enough gear to equip your own men. Then Miller came across this client. It was a huge job he was offering, but you had a shot at pulling it off. You accepted it and headed into Costa Rica. The client
Look at all
even
these
threw in
sand
an
dunes.
offshore facility in the Caribbean. The Mother Base. That would be your new base of
Not a
operations.
whole lot in this open
Miller
world,
sure
huh?
did have a head for business. As your mission went on, your unit grew and grew.
Yeah,
More
we
weapons,
faulted a lot of
more money.
dudes.
Before you knew it, you were commanding 300 men.
That was the
As the
limit.
organization got bigger, your military powers swelled to match. It got so the international community couldn't afford to ignore you. You were just too damn successful for your own good. You, your men, had worn out your welcome. Everyone was out for you.
Were
East,
they?
West, first.
I don't think a
world,
lot
third.
happened between
It was only
the
a
end of
matter
Peace
time
Walker and...
before someone took you down.
Yeah, but I don't think, like,
Excellent.
really there was... Okay, well, whatever.
Officially, they're an anti-terror unit under the CIA. In reality, they're Cypher's private strike force. They lured you to Cuba using Chico, the Nicaraguan revolutionary kid, and Paz, a mole.
Oh,
who
Paz, we
worked for
remember
Cypher's
Paz.
bait. While you were gone, XOF, posing as a nuclear inspection team, stormed Mother Base. At
Yeah.
the same time, C4 they placed on the strut legs went off.
Oh, C4 on the strut
thing went
legs. Hey,
down.
we remember that from Big Shell.
XOF. Kisses and hugs followed by a big FU. All because of Miller's blind spot. A back door into Mother Base no one suspected.
What about a back door into this
You remember
box?
a certain scientist. Huey was responsible for bringing the
Huey?
inspection team on board, giving the enemy a perfect opportunity to hit you at home. You were returning from Cuba when it happened. Mother Base came damn
So
close
surreal
taking
to
you
see
with it
Snake
into
going
the
through this
Caribbean.
featureless desert.
Those of your men out on assignment returned right away. They refused to believe the wreckage in the water they found was Mother Base. But they checked the coordinates again and again, until reality finally settled in. You were supposed to die that day. That was XOF's primary objective. As far as most folks know, you did. The first doctor to see you wasn't even sure what he was looking at. Before they'd even
I'm not
finished
sure what I'm
operating,
looking at
you
right
had
here
moved you
either.
to that hospital in Cyprus. There was a woman named Eva who arranged
Eva!
that.
Eva mentioned!
Rings a bell, huh? Most men in your condition would have been written off right from the start. But you survived.
We did
You
survive.
went straight down to hell, and they pulled you out. Your eye wide open.
Oh, now we're acknowledging the fact we only have one eye.
The
okay.
days of Naked Snake are long gone.
Naked Snake.
Welcome back.
Venom Snake. So yeah, the main character of this game is not meant to be MGS2 Solid Snake. It's meant to be
Here, Snake, try this.
Venom Snake.
Prosthetic.
Excuse me. Oh my god, I think I'm coming down with
It
something.
wasn't there.
Venom Snake.
Physiotherapy's going well.
For
Your
some
arm's
reason,
bulked up enough for
the name Punished Venom Snake gets thrown around a lot.
there.
And I don't really know
Time with it.
why. They
Doesn't
don't
work
really
better than
say
the
it
real
much
thing.
in the
What do
game.
you think?
It's not really something that
I can
comes
still feel my
about too
real
often.
arm.
But
You better get
for
used to this one
years,
quick.
that's the name that
Every
kind of
pain,
stuck.
every
And
now
like when
then.
people would get
Well,
banned on Twitter or whatever, they would change their name to like Punished,
Sounds
and then like I would be Punished Onika.
Brain still remembers
I don't know
your
why
old
that was such a thing, but yeah, they almost never
See,
say
okay? Yeah, at the moment. Now, the shrapnel in your
anything
jaw is pressing on your optic nerve.
about Punished Snake as a
Told
code
any
name. It's
hard
always
impact
Venom
could have
Snake
an
or
effect on
Snake
your
or
visual
Boss.
cortex. Yeah, the doctor mentioned that.
Oh, so we
Brain
might
might
see
process visual
things
information
that aren't really
incorrectly.
there, huh?
In other words, you could have hallucinations.
Are you saying I'm not
You might see things that
MGS2
aren't
Snake?
there, or not see things as they really are.
Weird.
You experience any of that? I think so. When? Right after I wake up. Colors look faded.
So there's that mechanic.
Well, that's not a
Colors
major
looking
concern
faded.
In and of itself, but it could mean the difference between life and death in the field. You'll need to watch out for that. Oh well. All right. You should continue.
Let's
your
talk
video.
about that. Let's talk about the
Your
color
eyes.
blindness. So that was meant to be a mechanic that would pay off way later in the game in the removed Mission 51. And, you know, I just said the removed Mission 51, so you can probably surmise that we're not going to see it. There is meant to be a payoff where a character was wearing a red jumpsuit that we were supposed to protect. And, oh no, we got exploded, and we can't see the color red, so it looks like he's wearing the white jumpsuit of all the other enemies, and we accidentally shoot him. we'll take a peek at that. But yeah, it's really funny. It's a mechanic that they added into the game and they tell you about, but it has no real payoff. Hey, remember Shalashaska? And I said that was a translation error and that this game actually has an explanation for it? Yeah.
Ocelot. I hear they started calling you Shalashaska in Afghanistan. What's that about? You know the term Sharashka? It's slang for a suspicious, hastily thrown together organization. The word became associated with a type of forced labor facility in the Soviet Gulag system. OKB scientists and engineers who'd been convicted of crimes were sent to a Sharashka for forced R&D. The Sharashkas were supervised by Lavrenti Beria of the NKVD, the secret police, under the official name 4th Special Department. Forced research? That's not very different from what we do here. Diamond Dogs is different. Everyone here believes in you. Regardless of where they came from or why they're here, they revere you. And they're fighting because it was their choice. And if it wasn't, they'd leave? Who knows? That's our reality here, whether it's real or not. If there's another truth, I don't want to know it. All that matters is that
so things might not be so we might see things incorrectly, and also you don't really care what the truth is. So you like your convenient lie? Okay.
Go on. Right. So anyway, at some point the enemy started calling me Sharashka. This was after the war in Afghanistan broke out. While I was keeping an eye on you in that hospital, I was also heading up interrogations here. The men I broke gave up their comrades and families, everything they wanted to protect them most. No real cause for it. I just let myself get caught up in the old Russian pride.
Oh, Ocelot, you and your torture love getting established early.
Special interrogation advisor to the forced labor camps. But the more men I interrogated, the more people saw me as just that, the interrogator. It helped cover my real objective of keeping you safe. You went that far for me? Far enough to keep you alive. I ended up being pretty well known among the Afghan guerrillas. Some of them would have seen me on the battlefield. And that's how I got the second half of the name. Shashka. It's a sword. A type of saber from the Caucasus. Russian dragoons and Cossacks carried them into battle. Now the Russian Empire had a general by the name of Fyodor Arturovich Keller. His bravery earned him the nickname Russia's greatest Shashka. Someone must have known about that, because somewhere along the line, Shashka is the target. The end of Sharashka. The guerrillas were using the name amongst themselves, and by the time I got to hearing about it, pronunciation had wound up as Shalashashka.
So
half Gulag, half hero sword.
Here's something a little annoying is
you see how rumors and ideas about people can get out of hand fast. Once you create a character and put it out there in public mind,
there is a thing for these conversations,
and before you
but sometimes just the oh my god,
phantoms. In my case,
the subtitles just.
I'm plenty used to working with aliases.
Down on the ground.
They love to just jump on top of each other, so you kind of missed it there as he was explaining the most important part. But yeah, two different Russian words got portmanteaued together and turned into Shalashaska. Now the real reason is they were trying to make it just be Sharashka was supposed to be the name. But katakana is a hell of a drug. So it turned into Shalashaska back with MGS2. But I actually really like, even though they didn't need to, I like that they went and made sense of that. By the way, we saved a pretty lady. And that's something you can do, is side ops. They pop up in the open world sometimes. Unlike Peace Walker, you can't just pick them from a menu, which is annoying. They randomly pop, and some like to overwrite each other and are very stubborn. Again, something that modders have fixed. You can just pick whatever type of missions you want. You can force certain ones. The main game could have very easily just, you know, let you pick them from a menu like you could in Peace Walker, but, you know. Put this lady. And yeah, that's what counts as a side op in this game. Again.
Okay,
Oh,
subject is in.
go to the base that you were in before. Remember? That's where we got the Spetsnaz commander before. Was there. And now there's just a lady there instead. So, you know. Let's talk about SALT 2.
So SALT 2 still hasn't gone into effect.
That treaty was drawn up
If
to
SALT's
limit
so
not just the
good, how
size
come
of
there's
the
no
US
SALT
and
2?
Soviet Union's nuclear arsenals, but also their delivery systems.
Things that count as side ops, abducting women,
That's when
yep.
we thought all those years of negotiations had paid off. Somebody decides to invade Afghanistan. The timing couldn't have been worse.
The president was in the middle of the SALT 2 talks back then.
Maybe while you were busy trying to stop Peace Walker? I heard. President Ford was meeting with the General Secretary in Vladivostok. In his absence, the political brass in America detected what they didn't realize was false nuclear launch data from Peace Walker.
Yeah, we remember that. It's kind of weird to hear these
All the
voices
big
that
ideas.
weren't in Peace Walker talk
Humans
about the
aren't
events of
capable
Peace
destroying
Walker.
themselves. Turns out he never knew what humans are capable of.
If that AI, the boss, hadn't found a way to stop the fake data transmission, they probably would have gone ahead with the launch.
Deterrence was revealed as the pipe dream it was.
All thanks to you and her. The U.S.-Soviet talks looked set to fall through. What happened in Nicaragua no doubt helped trigger a change of heart. But in the end,
The time's to find the politics. When you've grabbed their tail, they turn and bite your hand.
I first met you 20 years ago now.
Yeah, we remember
The place was
MGS3. Selino
in the
Yarsk.
Soviet Union.
He did not say
We
that
were
properly
enemies.
at all.
I
He
was
said
with the
Selenio
crew.
Yarsk.
You were still fighting for America. 1964. Operation Snake Eater.
That's a good game.
Objective: the assassination of the legendary soldier known as the Boss. When you returned home successful, they awarded you the title.
Yeah, we
Boss.
remember. Lyndon B. Johnson
Your
was there.
CO Zero sought to carry on the boss's will. by
Oh yeah, remember
covertly
that? Hey,
establishing
what
his
about
own
the whole
organization.
clones
You
Wonder if
knew
we'll
the
see any of
original
those
members
clones
from Operation Snake
of Big
Eater.
Boss?
From America, there was David O. Whereas he was.
That's right, by the way, yeah,
Major Zero.
Major Zero's real name, I pointed it
Donald
out, but it's
Anderson,
David
aka
O.
Sigan.
Hey, Donald Anderson,
Clark,
Sigan,
who went by
Dr. Clark,
paramedic during
paramedic.
the
Oh,
operation.
look, we're getting all the lore. Look,
You.
there's actual
From
story in
China,
this
there
game.
was Eva. And me, Ocelot, from the Soviet Union.
Again, I really wish that this is kind of the
us,
stuff
government
that I
notions of
wanted
friend
to
and foe
see,
were meaningless.
but instead
As were
of,
East
you
and
know,
West.
seeing it,
We
again,
only
we're
forces
told
by
it
our will
to a
alone.
snake, but instead
Our
of
objective was to
Solid
fulfill
Snake,
the boss's
we're
dying
being,
wish.
it's being told to
To
an
make the
amnesiac
world
Big Boss?
And to do it, Zero used the Philosopher's Legacy, the secret
Like,
fund
why?
you
Why is
obtained
that
during
how...
Operation Snake Eater.
Why is that the reason that
This
we're
organization
hearing
would go
this
on to
again?
become
They couldn't have just shown us a cool, stylish
I, on
cutscene
the other
of...
hand, was
anyway.
left with the problem. You only recovered half of the legacy.
Ah, remember
I
that?
had to locate the other half.
Remember
myself.
that?
When I
Portable
found the
Ops?
funds,
Yeah,
I passed
Portable
them on
Ops
to Zero,
reference.
just as you
Is that
wanted.
the only reason I'm
I still
listening to the
trusted him
tapes
in
is to
those
point out the
days.
Portable Ops
We thought what
references?
he was
Maybe.
doing was the
Maybe.
boss's will, until he started that one project.
That one project.
Terrible. Zero called in.
Yep.
You parted ways, as did Eva, leaving only Anderson and Clark still with him. I maintain limited contact,
So,
although truth be told,
I like that
I
they
just
bring
keep
it up
tabs
at
on
all, but again, I
reason
want to
was
see
always
this,
you.
man.
After you returned to the army and created Foxhound,
Oh, look.
you left America.
Oh, look, Portable Ops
Perhaps
reference.
not
It's
much
canon. Why do people
I'd imagine
insist
Zero
that
did
Portable
too.
Ops is not canon
You always
when
were the
even
best
this
when it came to
game
hide and seek.
mentions it?
Zero created Cypher, an information network to tap into every corner of the globe. Woven together,
Remember,
Cypher's
Paz was
arteries
talking
make
about
the
that
world
at the end of
just
Peace
one
Walker?
big organism. And that's not all. It also monitors the thorn in Zero's side. That's you, tracking your coordinates wherever you might go. The further you strayed from your roots, the larger Zero became. It's as if he was trying to close the gap.
Oh,
between
so Zero, we have to make Zero 1 or
he
take
disappeared
it
from
back to
public
0
life.
and 0 can become
Only a few
100.
people had direct contact with him. For a time, I was one of them. Then a year after you fell into your coma, he slipped out of sight entirely.
Oh, so we don't know where
Since then,
Zero is then.
nothing.
That's really important because that's who we're trying to get revenge on,
No
right?
recordings, not even a reliable rumor as to his whereabouts. I tried every method I could think of, but Zero was gone. Freed of his control. His creation, his power.
Oh, wait, why did he see me? He's the passenger.
Cypher is a great beast, and Zero was its spine.
That's fine.
But even without him, it's endured. Evolved. But now its body is rotting, riddled with parasites. Parasites like the ones
Oh, look,
who attacked
his
you
body's riddled
9
with
years ago in
parasites.
the Caribbean, and then at the hospital. Cypher's Black Ops Unit, XOF. They learned where you were and came to wipe you clean.
So, here's another thing that just happened. We took over this little base here, and we got heroism for it. As we were, learning the lore, learning the gaps between what happened in these games. And, it's fine. Zero demoted to -1, basically. Basically. Now, whereas... Here was another little bit of cope back in the day, was the idea that if you didn't like the story, well, you're a big dumb idiot because, quote, it's all in the tapes. And whereas, yes, a lot of it is in the tapes, I just don't think it's particularly the best way to tell a story. By the way, we get a bionic punch. So, while it's one of those things that is technically correct, I don't know, man. I don't know. Soviet invasion of Afghanistan.
Christmas Eve, 1979. The Soviet Union rolled into Afghanistan. Muslims have revolted against the Soviet-friendly regime established the year before. The DRA forces could no longer contain it themselves, so the Soviets went in to intervene.
So yeah, you can see how quickly
Afghan
guards
government
wake up
was
if you
powerless,
CQC
brought
slam
within
them, which
by-
I think is a little
They
ridiculous.
lost the hearts and
But that's
minds
fine.
of the people, and that alarmed the Soviet leadership. With the Islamic Revolution happening in Iran, the Soviets felt they had to act fast or risk the spread of Islamic
This is important
revival.
real-world lore.
Superpower, sending a motorized rifle division against men on horseback with antique rifles. Everyone thought it'd be over in an instant. Only it wasn't. Some Muslims made their fight a jihad, a holy war, and began a guerrilla campaign on
We can take
all
this truck,
fronts.
by the way.
A war of attrition. These fighters call themselves Mujahideen.
Yeah, we just
being
helped them
supported
out.
by the West through Pakistan.
Just like
That's why
America
Miller was
did
involved.
during this
He was
time.
training them near the
Because,
Zero
you know,
Line,
we really
sponsored by
didn't like the
CIA.
Russians, so anyone fighting
Wars
against the
became a
Russians was our
nightmare for the
ally.
Soviet troops stationed
So
here.
remember, we're a
They
bunch of
thought they'd be at
dirtbags
home in 6
with no
months.
ideology, and
Then
we
a
don't
year
answer to
passed.
anyone except
2
we keep
years.
taking jobs from
Now
Americans.
here we are 4 years on. with
Okay,
no
sure.
exit in sight.
No sides, though.
Afghanistan has become the Soviet Union's Vietnam. The Soviet troops on the ground want to go home, but at least they have homes to go back to. The Afghans have lost theirs.
Look at this nice little
The
area.
Soviets destroy the kishlaks, villages, wherever they can. They burn down homes and fields, fill in wells, turn pastures into minefields. It's created a mass of refugees who fled to Pakistan.
This is nice. I
If
want
the
to.
Mujahideen
might wanna
are
get a little
fish
more
swimming
comfortable
around
here.
the villages, the Soviets will go so far as to dry out their ocean. But this has had a big price. There's bitter resentment among the Afghans, and they're taking out their anger on the soldiers on the front lines. Among the Mujahideen are the Pashtun people. They're fiercely devoted to their code of Badal, or revenge. Soviets they've captured have had their hands, feet, and noses cut off before
Oh,
being
that's
left
kinda
to die
gross.
at the side of the road, just to show their comrades what they're capable of. Friendlies who come across them can do nothing but put them out of their misery. Then they burn down another village in retaliation. And the cycle of vengeance goes on.
So yeah, I appreciate the real world backdrop. I appreciate that it's like, you know, they made the joke about the, oh, it's the Cold War Part 2, you know, the 80s and all that. And it correlates to the Cold War era of Snake Eater. I don't know. It's
This
it's
war,
fine.
The criminal
I
never
appreciate
expected
that they
have
tried
this
to
much
work it
trouble against
into,
the Mujahideen.
again, real-world
Afghanistan
lore,
is a tribal
like we
society.
used to.
Tradition demands that its people stand up to any outsiders who set
Ah,
foot
that's
on their
better.
land.
That's more comfortable.
With the honor of their people at stake, they have everything to fight for. No matter how hard the Soviets hit them, they continue to appear out of nowhere, striking back, then vanishing.
Yeah, he brought up Vietnam as well.
There's one thing
If you're
even
familiar
the
with that,
Mujahideen fear.
it's
Every
very
last
similar.
one of them. The Soviet gunships.
The
They're
Soviets
highly
were basically getting
maneuverable
wiped
and
out,
equipped
but
with
then, oh
massive
no, the
firepower.
Hind D!
Plus,
It's
the
so
underside
strong.
of the fuselage is heavily armored. The Mujahideen can barely scratch them with their small arms. Anyone who hangs around gets mowed down by the gunship's heavy machine
Sandstorm,
guns.
by the way.
This new honeybee weapon that was given to the Hamid fighters, it's no doubt something to help them strike back against the gunships.
Again, yeah, real-world
which
lore.
makes it a weapon that could change the
I
course
think
of
that's
the war.
interesting. It's a thing that a lot of people don't really talk about
Those
or
guerrilla fighters known as
pick up on in
Mujahideen
this
don't
game.
actually belong to a single organization.
But I think it's
Afghanistan is a
interesting.
multi-ethnic
Take a look at this,
country.
too. This
You've
is
got
kind of
the
like a cool,
Pashtuns, the Tajiks, Uzbeks,
very,
Hazars, and each of them is split
trippy
into
what
their
we got
own
going on
tribes,
here.
large and small. Each ethnicity has several rebel organizations that their various tribes gather under. They're united under the banner of jihad. That doesn't mean they work like a single standing army. Just look at the area around Smossy Fort. A lot
I don't
of
even know where
Tajiks
I'm
used
going
to live
anymore.
there. They fled after the Soviets started their Scorched Earth campaign. With the area uninhabited, the Hamid fighters, who are Pashtun, decided to move in. The Hamids are based out of the city of Peshawar. We passed through it on the western edge of Pakistan.
So does this have anything to do with, like, what I have to, like, are we going to pick sides? Like, oh, are we finally doing that thing they wanted to do with MGS4? Where there's multiple warring factions? Can we actually pick sides? No? No, we're just going to keep doing missions for the U.S.
The government wants to use them to secure influence over
Yeah.
Afghanistan. Their liaison with the Hamids is Inner Services Intelligence, and behind the ISI, you have the CIA. That's probably how the honeybee ended up in the hands of the Hamid men.
And of course, yeah, we're working in the U.S.'s interests to give it to them. What do we got next in terms of these tapes? Okay, yeah, the honeybee analysis.
I had the R&D team analyze the honeybee. How? The CIA wanted it with everything intact. They took it apart to look at it. Then they put it back together. Everything intact. That's the R&D boys, all right. Turns out the honeybee's homing capabilities are a cut above previous manpads. It can
Manpads.
detect a broad range.
That is the
of
real
infrared
name for that, and I
wavelengths,
think it's very
and
funny.
even ultraviolet for supplementary guidance. Hence the name, huh? Right. Honeybees rely on UV light to fly. With this device, flares don't do the target any good. That's why the Soviets are losing so many gunships. And why the CIA was so desperate to get it back. It wasn't just about preventing the Soviets from devising countermeasures. What if the likes of Iran got their hands on it? American aircraft would be put at risk too. We can use this tech to develop our own portable missile. That'll give us a huge advantage.
Even though we
It'll
already
take a little
developed
time before
those
the
before,
analysis
but that's
results can
fine.
be applied to actual implementation. But we'll keep moving with the research.
Alright, so that about catches us up where we are in the game now. Luckily, the tapes are in chronological order in that way, so it's very easy to keep track of, and I appreciate that, because I do want to listen to all of them when relevant. Take a look at this! We never get to see these vehicles? This is the only one like it here. It's kind of neat. This is an area that I did want to show because, I don't know, it's just kind of cool. It's one of the weird bits of environmental storytelling where you're like, oh man, they must have got like attacked here or something. And then you see there's like, you know, an outpost and like barracks. I'm trying, man. Anyway. Let's go back to our helicopter. Let's go back to base. Well, I hope you've been paying attention to all that. Basically, we don't know where Zero is. It seems like he's sick and not like... See, look, there's more of these vehicles here. It's neat. It's a cool little detail, but they don't really do anything with it.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly
Yeah,
at
Zero's sick. and not like, yo, he's so sick, like, oh, he's physically ill and can't really do much anymore. Also, we don't know where he is. Also, the Soviets are here in Afghanistan because they wanted to take over, but oh no, they were getting their asses kicked. And we're not taking sides, but we totally took sides and helped the U.S. gain some ground against them by supplying the Mujahideen with totally not Stinger missiles. Also, Skullface is here, and we want revenge on him, even though we know he's not Cypher, because Zero was Cypher, and he also wants revenge on Cypher. Oh, and a big robot with big robot hands and zombies. That's where we are. That's where we are by the end of that last mission. I hope you're keeping up. Oh, we also found a dog. Don't forget about that. We found a dog. And something about people are getting sick. And someone didn't want to speak. Okay. All right. Now, you know what would have been a lot better is if we had some, like, cutscenes with, like, a cyborg ninja and flipping around and cutting missiles in half and stuff. But Twin Snakes, just too based for this game, yo.